Today we're going to take a look at the 702 Daily Sling from GRAMS28. Now this is part of their urban collection. It's a collection of mostly slings and this like really cool tech folio type thing. Now I actually have two pieces from the urban collection, and I've kind of been switching in between the two depending on what my needs are for the day. But today we're going to focus on the Daily Sling. Now of course I'm going to show you all the ins and outs. I'm going to share my thoughts and opinions. I'm going to give you some pros and some cons to this bag, and if you want to know what fits in here, at the end of the video I'm going to do a full loadout. Now you're going to want to stick around for that because I have some 3D printed devices and I can show you what can fit in what pockets and all that good stuff. Now as always, there's chapter markers down below if you want to skip to a section that's more important to you. But let's start unpacking all the details of the 702 Daily Sling from GRAMS28. So I was excited to get my hands on a couple of pieces from the urban collection because it's a slightly different direction for the brand than what they're really known for. Now GRAMS28 has really built a name for themselves with their high-end luxury leather goods like backpacks and slings, really nice stuff. Now this one's actually made of nylon, but it's styled more like a modern city luxury type of bag. The 702 was designed to meet the everyday carry needs of the modern city goer that wants to carry something a little bit nicer, but also maintain all the functionality that you would need in your day-to-day. Now this consists of three separate compartments on the inside here. You have this larger compartment here that was specifically designed to fit a variety of smaller handheld cameras. They actually have a list of cameras on their website that they've tested in here. Now this compartment is big, open, no organization on this side, and you can actually fit an entire iPad mini down in this section as well. So by having this big open section, it leaves it very versatile to the types of stuff that you can carry in there. If you're carrying larger bits of makeup, you're carrying cameras. I was able to fit my DJI Pocket 3 down in here as well. But you also have a smaller front admin compartment for all of your smaller things. If you want to carry chapstick, your wallet, power banks, hand sanitizer, all of your daily essentials can be easily organized in this front pocket as well. And then up front, you have this padded cell phone pocket. Now for the inside lining material, GRAMS28 doesn't actually list it on the website, but it feels more like a cloth, which is a nice little change because a lot of brands are using a ripstop material. While there's lots of huge benefits to ripstop, don't get me wrong, but it's nice to see something a bit softer. And as you can see that this one is actually color matched to the bag. So it's a lighter shade of blue to give some contrast so you can easily find your gear and give the bag a little bit more of that aesthetic design that GRAMS28 is known for. Now on the inside of this main compartment, you have one zipper pocket on the back, no additional organization in there. And when you get to this front admin compartment, this is where I was like truly impressed with this bag. Now you have to understand, I am truly a bag nerd. So I'm looking at backpacks, I'm looking at slings day in and day out for fun, but also because things I want to review on the channel and to kind of just to educate myself on what's on the market. So when you start looking at so many soft goods, they kind of all just blend together in a big pot, and you don't really see a lot of differences between the brands anymore. They're kind of all mushed together. So when you start looking at the way the internals are stitched to this pocket, instead of stitching the pockets along the back like most 99% of other brands do, GRAMS28 chose to stitch them diagonal across. It makes these pockets more visually appealing, just something as simple as diagonal, while maintaining all of their functionality, because you can still put gear here, right in the middle, and right here. Three different pocket divisions, but also applying just a little bit of unique ingenuity and aesthetic into something as simple as a pocket. Now on the other side of those pockets, you do have an additional zippered pocket back here as well. So you can really see that GRAMS28 gave you plenty options for organization. And I'm typically in the camp of minimal organization, except for when it comes to slings. I do like my slings to have a little bit more pocketing, a little bit more organization to organize all of the smaller things that I typically carry inside of slings. Now there's nothing else going on with that front cell phone compartment there besides a little bit of gusseting there to allow this pocket to lay flat when it is not in use. Something I really like about brands like GRAMS28 is they have a design language that can be carried through all of their products. And they do that a lot of the times by their iconic buckle that you can find on many of their soft goods. Now this is a shrunken down version here for this Daily Sling here, but it's just a smaller version of their iconic Cobra style buckle that you would find on all of their larger slings and larger backpacks. So I thought that was very cool of them to shrink one down and bring it over to the urban collection and maintain that continuity and design language between all of their products. And because this is GRAMS28, they're not gonna let you go home without a little bit of Italian pebbled leather. So you're gonna see that Italian pebbled leather here on all the binding around the bag. Just a nice leather accent around the bag that's also color matched to the bag. Down here on the adjustment lid here, you'll have some more of that Italian pebbled leather there, accent. Of course, even on the little strap keeper, just nice little touches like the leather pull tabs, and even down to the zipper track of everything being color matched to the bag. And of course, the zipper pulls here of that brushed nickel, that nickel style to match the buckle. Everything just ties in really nice from an aesthetic standpoint. So the primary material on this bag is a 5K waterproof nylon. Now I don't know exactly what that is. I think this is something developed specifically by GRAMS28. Again, in the name, I'm assuming that it is completely waterproof, but like we mentioned earlier, we still have some points of intrusion that I would be concerned about. But overall, the material feels nice, smooth. It has a good texture to it. It feels like a canvas material, and it also picks up pet hair and dust kind of like canvas. The difference here is you can typically brush that stuff right off, but I did notice that it will attract the occasional dust or pet hair. And as far as the other materials, of course, it's the Italian pebbled leather on the binding here on the outside, and then you do have the metal hardware. And I don't know the brand of the zippers. I don't believe they're YKK, but I haven't had a single issue from this particular bag or any of the other GRAMS28 bags that I've used in the past. Now you do actually have one external pocket on this sling. It is just a simple slip pocket along the back here. Now that is sized to fit a cell phone as well. So if you don't want to undo the buckle to get your phone out of the padded pocket up front, you can easily slip your cell phone into the back slip pocket as well. Obviously that comes with the sacrifice of a little bit of security, but if you want quicker access to your phone, this is a great pocket for that as well. Right above that slip pocket are the two metal D-rings where your shoulder strap attaches. Connecting the shoulder strap to the bag are these carabiner type attachments. You have that brushed nickel style of finish on these as well to match the front buckle. You have a stamped GRAMS28 logo in the buckle as well, and really simple to get on and off. Now there are several different straps that you can purchase for this bag. They're available on the GRAMS28 website. I'll put all the links down in the description. But if you don't like it, there's several different options that you can choose from. For the shoulder strap itself, it is that nicer, softer, premium nylon, similar to what you would find on a seatbelt. Very nice. And of course, they're using more metal hardware here for the adjustment buckle. You have a strap keeper here as well, all color matched to the bag. You even have the little leather tabs that connect the strap to the hardware. And this hardware is like 360, so if you get this strap tangled up, it's easily to get it straight back again. The strap is about 1.5 inches thick, so it does a really good job of weight distribution. It doesn't stand particularly well on its own because of the front admin compartment and cell phone pocket are towards the front, so it has a tendency to want to lean forward. Now, depending on how you pack it out, you can get it to stand up on its own. It is well padded, so if you do carry a camera, you are going to have a little bit of protection overall. And the material being waterproof should give you some water resistance, but here's one thing I noticed with this bag. These corners kind of stick out to the side, so if you were to carry a camera in the main compartment, even when you really max this compartment out and make it more squarish, I still found that every now and then you would still see a small gap in here. So water intrusion is a concern despite the material being waterproof. This is actually a good sized bag and you can fit both your items in here, and because of that it can get a little hefty, but because of the strap being 1.5 inches thick, I think it does a good job at weight distribution, but mostly because of the way it attaches to the back of the bag, it carries in a crossbody style of carry. I generally find that more comfortable, the crossbody style carry, versus the traditional front or back style of carry a sling. So overall comfort for the sling is actually very good. So what gives this bag that elevated aesthetic is definitely the color matched leather accents, the brushed nickel hardware on the zippers, the buckle, even right down to the strap. Now it is a square boxy bag, but I think that everything here really dresses it up very nice. I'm gonna preface this statement by saying don't ever take fashion advice from me, but I feel with this sling, if you're dressing up, it can definitely match your aesthetic. But if you're dressing down, I still think you can still style this bag to meet your aesthetic. I'm gonna throw the tech specs for you up on the screen. Please feel free to give that a pause if you wanna get a better look at any of those numbers. Now this bag does have a listed capacity of 2 liters. And I found that to be pretty spot on. I would actually say that it's a very generous 2 liters. Once we get to the loadout section of this video, you can see how different bulky things fit into the main compartment, but it's an easy 2 liters for sure. The 702 comes in several different colors to match anybody's aesthetic. I went with the royal blue, mostly for the fact that everything I own is black or green, so I wanted to add a splash of color into my carry. Now this is a universal color and bag in general, so my wife actually loved this bag. The moment I unboxed it, she was like, that's mine. So it's a style of bag that can really fit anybody, and because of all the color options, you can definitely find one that matches your personal preference. Now, current at the time of filming, this bag retails for $149. Now, I know that that is no small chunk of change, especially when we're talking about a sling, but I would argue there are slings that are more expensive that look half as good as this bag right here. And this is one of the main reasons I was interested in the Urban collection, because the price differences between something like this and the leather counterpart that Grams offers, the price difference is actually quite significant. I love the lower price point here because you're getting an awesome bag, but you're still gonna get the luxury designer GRAMS28 experience, even right down to the bag coming with a dust cover. And not only does the bag come with a dust cover, even the strap itself comes with its own dust cover bag. Now, something that I get asked all the time, is it actually worth the money? And in this case here, it is without a doubt worth the $149 asking price. Now, I don't have any skin in the game. I don't even have an affiliate link. Like, whether you buy this bag or not makes no difference to me. But if you want my honest thoughts and opinion about the price, I think it's absolutely worth the asking price. I've paid double for bags that don't look or function half as good as this one does. Hey, really quick, if you like this video or you found any value in today's video, be sure to hit like and subscribe, as that directly supports me and the channel. Thank you. When it comes to some pros and cons to the 702 Daily Sling, the number one pro for me is going to be value. Like I said, I know $150 is not a small asking price, it's not a small price tag, but when you compare this sling to other premium slings on the market, this one is arguably a lot better. Now those are gonna run like $120, $125, so this one is typically a little bit more expensive, but for that extra $20, $30, you're getting that Italian pebbled leather, the metal hardware, I mean the beautiful color match strap. These are all things that are really gonna elevate the premiumness to the bag and that feeling of the bag, and I think it's worth that extra 20, 30 bucks over some of the other premium bags on the market. Another pro for me is going to be the bag's organization and the way it's laid out and how it functions. Now you can take away all of the premium materials and strip it right down and pretend this is just a basic nylon sling, but because of the way it's laid out, you have that larger main compartment for your bulkier items, you have that smaller admin pocket for your smaller stuff, and of course the padded cell phone pocket, and even an external access point. It makes this bag very functional in the day-to-day by providing different styles and levels of organization within the sling. And the last pro for me is going to be the overall quality and aesthetic of this bag. If you're somebody who's on the market for a nicer sling so you can carry to that nicer function, your higher end parties, you know, a night out on the town, you want something to dress up with and it's going to match your aesthetic, I think this sling will easily fit into those days where you just need something a bit nicer. Now, no bag is perfect, and there are some cons to this sling as well. The number one con for me is the point of water intrusion. Right here on the sides of the sling, depending on how you packed out, you'll get wider gaps or smaller gaps, but I did find that I would always have a small gap here on the side. So if moisture is a real concern for you, there's definitely 2 points where water can get into your bag. So if you're carrying something like a camera, which this bag is actually designed to carry, that could be a concern, especially if you're traveling to or live in a rainy area. Now, the next two cons I have for this bag weren't a real issue for me, but I'm trying to look at this from the scope of the carry community as a whole. So the second con to this bag could be the ease of access, because you have to undo this buckle and then unzip this zipper here to get into the admin compartment. You will have to spend a few extra seconds to access some of the gear in this sling. I've only been making videos on YouTube for almost a year and a half, but I've been an active member of the carry community for far longer, and I know that ease of access is a point of contention for a lot of people in the carry community. So the fact that you have to undo a buckle and unzip to get to certain points in this bag may be a con for you. And lastly, the smallest of nitpicks is the metal hardware. Again, while it's not an issue for me, just know that while you're carrying this strap with all the metal buckles on it, and metal buckles here, is when you put this sling down, it has the potential to really make a lot of noise. It could potentially scratch. There was an occasion where I set this down onto a glass table, so when I put this back down without thinking, the metal hardware making contact with the glass was actually very audible. Just something to keep note. And also the metal hardware itself is eventually going to develop some scrapes. I have a couple of scuffs here on the front buckle just from trying to connect the buckle and missing, and you're kind of going to scuff up the buckle. So it's just something, it patinas over time, it gains some scuff, so, and that may be something that doesn't appeal to you. Now some final thoughts on the 702 Daily Sling from GRAMS28. I really do like this bag, and I really like the Urban collection as a whole. As these bags are a little bit more affordable, it gives more people the opportunity to get the GRAMS28 experience, which you still do here, even though it is a lower price tag. If you're eyeing this piece, always check the website for sales, sign up for this newsletter because they'll definitely notify you via email as well. So there are opportunities to get this bag at an even lower price point. GRAMS28 is quickly becoming one of my favorite brands in the carry world because I feel they consistently hit the mark on their mission statement of delivering functional luxury. Like, it's cool that the bag looks good, like that's awesome. I love a good looking bag, but at the end of the day, it also has to function. Because the whole point to all of these backpacks and slings in the first place is to help you reduce the friction in the things that you carry. And if your bag or your sling isn't doing that, what is it good for? It adds more friction to your everyday carry, and we're not about that life. Okay, so let's load this bag out to see what it can actually fit. So listed at 2 liters, I do believe that is a very generous 2 liters. This main compartment can hold quite a few different things. So I have a 3D printed iPad mini right here, easily fits and closes no problem. If you have a set of Sony XM6s or the XM4s that fold, you can fit the entire set of over-the-ear headphones in there as well, easily fit and close no problem. But here's what I actually carried. I actually carried the Osmo Pocket 3 camera. That's what I use to film B-roll and stuff when I'm out and about, and a pair of sunglasses. Still plenty of room to cram more gear in there, but that's all I really needed. And these sunglasses and camera just fit so easy in the main compartment. With that zippered compartment on the back, I actually didn't really use this pocket in my day-to-day, but if you are traveling with your sling and say you wanted to put your passport in there, because that's a more secure spot to put it within a zippered compartment, you can easily fit it down in there. Now it's even in my Wayfinder passport cover, and it'll still fit into that pocket. And because it's zippered, it's more secure. So if somebody were to try to get your passport, they have to unbuckle it and then unzip. So really not a likely scenario. So I felt that that was a great place to put a passport if you choose to travel with the sling. The front admin section is a great place to put those items you want quicker access to, smaller bits and bobs that may get lost. So I actually have my car key here with my James Bean carabiner. I would actually throw this into the compartment here in the front so it doesn't scratch up anything or ding anything. Keep it in that front zippered compartment. And then these 3 little slots here, this is my MagFold wallet from Black Ember, easily fits there. Then you can put like your hand sanitizer, you can put your chapstick, even some gum can also fit into that side compartment there. And then on this side, I do want quicker access to my power bank. This is my Iniu P73 MagSafe charger. Awesome. I've talked about this in several videos. Link to this in the description. Very, very good power bank. It's so slim and it fits perfect into one of these side pockets there. And the front padded pocket is meant for your largest iPhones. This is a iPhone 15 Pro Max. Easily fit into that pocket there, and everything closes up quite nice. Now you do have a little bit of adjustment here in the strap there, but that's pretty much maxed out. Like I said, variety of different things that you can put into the main compartment. But if you want quicker access to your cell phone, there's also a slip pocket along the back where it will fit, and I can demonstrate that for you now. This pocket is still big enough to fit your cell phone, so if you don't want to undo the buckle to get to your cell phone, there's also a place to put it there. And because it's just a flat zip pocket, it's also a great place to put my field notes, which is what I actually carried in my day-to-day. So in my day-to-day, I did use the front pocket for the cell phone. I'm not addicted to my screen where I have to check it every few minutes, so I was perfectly okay putting it there in that front padded pocket. So the extra few seconds it took to get to it, not a big deal for me, but just know that you have the option of speedier access from that back pocket. If you made it this far in this video, I want to say thank you so much for sticking around to the end. If you have any more questions about the 702 Sling, definitely put them in the comments below. I respond to every single one. The goal of this channel is to always help you find the right gear for you. I want to say thank you to GRAMS28 for sending out the 702 for me to test and review. And if you're in the market for a sling and this one doesn't quite meet your needs or aesthetic, you're definitely going to want to check out this playlist right here. There's lots of different styles of slings and different sizes, something for everybody. So you're definitely going to want to check out that playlist if you're still in the market for a sling. Can't wait to catch you on the next one.